plateau, more like 2 or 3 communities says those of them that had transhuming nomadic flocks that pass through their community, that always, most times when they pass, whether they settle at their, because they have a watering hole or whatever, when they settle in their community before they continue their journey, they always have outbreak of transboundary diseases like PPR. So, and as it's a factor of the semi-intensive husbandry system. The other important risk factor, which cannot be emphasized, my other colleagues have talked about, is restocking from livestock markets. Restocking from livestock markets. Of the 65 households that say, look, we had PPR, 45 of them at some point restocked from livestock market. And we've had several instances during the disease investigation where they introduced animals, they just went innocently to buy animals to stock. And then there's an outbreak of PPR following introduction of such animals. So, and then also, interestingly, a study also we did with some collaborators in markets. We went to collect environmental samples. We detected from those environmental samples, we detected PPR genome in livestock markets and in some households. We just swabbed feeding troughs, hard surfaces, boots, and header stick at all. And also another study we did in livestock markets, we were collecting samples and administering questionnaires. Out of the over 100 animals that we sampled, I think over 50 something of them had PPR. So it shows how important the livestock market is. Then the other risk factors is sharing of feeding bulk or a lot of the households who say they had PPR, lots of them shared breeding buck or ram. Another interesting thing is, which is maybe a gap, but it's something that we should look at. That is something that is very important that we should look at. Is the issue of small, cattle. A lot of the household, 38.5% of the household that had PPR also had cattle in the same shade or grazing with goat. But we don't know whether cattle play a role in the epidemiology of PPR. We don't know, because a lot of our attention is just on the sheep and goat. And from that study, what we found interesting was that we actually some sample, 1,800 samples.
Yes, of course.
We didn't run for PPR because we didn't have funding for PPR, but we eventually had funding to run for FMD. And you know, FMD is most important host is cattle. And then we say we check whether small ruminants play a role. And we found out that 17.7% of them were carrying antibiotics.
Nice, go ahead.
For FMD. So it's important that
we from Mali
possibility of cattle, probably in the epidemiology of PPR. Then lastly, of recent, we have been seeing a lot of cases of sheep pox, goat pox with PPR. And a lot of the 39.4% of households that said claimed they had PPR also said we experienced sheep and goat pox. And in the past 5 years, co-infection of PPR, goat pox, and we have seen a lot of it. It's becoming common. If you see any devastating case of PPR, check there may be goat pox there. Or any devastating case of outbreaks of goat pox or sheep pox, you will see it's along with PPR. So we don't know whether maybe there's a role each of these diseases play in the epidemiology of PPR. It's something that we need to dig deeper. And then, of course, if we are controlling in Nigeria, if we are controlling PPR, it's also important to control sheep and goat pox. So in conclusion, PPR is endemic in North Central Nigeria. Awareness may be high, but vaccine uptake is poor among farmers. And husbandry system and restocking from livestock market are major risk factors. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this great presentation, Dr. Adedeji. These results have been published already, or will they be published soon?
Yeah, some of the studies have been published. If you want us to share, fine, we'll be glad.
Yes. I think I would maybe propose to all the speakers to put the link to their papers in the chat, so people can see directly the.
We have some of them. Some of them have been published, and I'm glad to share it. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. So I will again, yes, sorry to rush everybody, but we want really to try to keep as much as possible to within